This is Andrew Petch. I'm Executive Creative Director of Saatchi & Saatchi. I'm just here today to share my thoughts on a project we've been working on for actually the course of 3 years. It started, that's why it was so important 3 years ago, because it started with the very first thing that we did, which was the name. So this is the first time that, unlike most of the way they run most of the malls, which is like, SM, Mall of Asia, or EDSA, or SM North EDSA, or they have, SM Lenang. They've had some of the super malls. They've obviously had, SM Mega Mall. They've tried to name those things differently. As was Mall of Asia was slightly named differently, but this was the first time we had to set it apart. So the first thing was really that name. Second thing was really about how we bring that corporate name to life. So in the way we lay it out, it's always done even if you look at the masthead of SM Aurora, when you drive up to the place, you'll see it's done completely and utterly in metal, and it's very slick, and so it's a lot more understated, it's a lot more recessive, in that regard. Just a lot more class. So one of the big things we were doing to change that was the name itself, was the way that we designed the logo, and it all done in steel, which is very contemporary, which is very modern, a little bit industrial. And from there, really, it's even in the way we then did the materials, which you'll see that are coming out, which will be coming out the next, a couple have already come out, and then there's a whole spiel of stuff coming out in the next 3 weeks. And you'll see that we've completely reshot all their materials in a very different way. We've given it a very different colour palette, very different tone. We've deliberately, actually looked at everything that we've done with the SM brand and deliberately done something different this time to actually make it visually for people. From every single piece of communication they witness that represents that brand, they feel it's something fresh, something new, something different. So to live up to the fact that when they walk into the actual establishment, it is exactly that. In the way it looks from the outside to the way when you go inside, it's a very different, very classy experience. So with changing perceptions is really started with how we, from the name through to how they built the design and the architecture, through to every single communication piece we do for them, looking, feeling, and acting differently.